Hello, Chris here again, and I wanted to present to you this lesson on the difference between consonants and vowels. And before we actually begin the lesson together, I do want to make clear that this is a lesson you would actually teach to students before you begin any of the spelling lists with them. So in the first couple weeks, you're normally working with them on learning graphemes, and maybe learning some spelling rules, but you would also want to make sure that this is made very clear to the students, the difference between vowels and consonants. And so I want to do that with you today, looking at the difference between consonants and vowels. You would actually set up your board just like this if you were going to teach this lesson to students, so you could use this in a sense as a pattern for how you would teach the students. So what we want to do very quickly is we want to start with a definition. So we're starting the lesson now, and this is how you would start with your students. We want to start with a definition of what is a consonant and what is a vowel. Now you could ask your students to try to define these two terms for you. And some of the students who've already done the program may have very good definitions for these two. If you want to right now, you could pause the video and try to figure out what you would define consonants and vowels as. For us in our program, we are going to define a consonant as a sound. It is a sound that comes out of the mouth that is restricted in some way. So when we think of a consonant, we want to think of a sound that is restricted. Whereas a vowel sound is any sound that we produce that is open or unrestricted. It doesn't cause audible vibration or friction, okay? So we have 6 letters that we're going to use to represent vowel sounds. But this is very important. We do not have vowel graphemes. Now, when we talk about our vowel graphemes, you would think of them, and so we have them here, these 6 vowels, as A, E, I, O, U, and Y. So I'll go ahead and write them here. A, E, I, O, U, and Y. And the reason that we use these to represent our vowel sounds is because these 6 represent all of the vowel sounds that we use. We have a number of vowel sounds that we use. We remember that the A says a, a. We have the E says e. We have the I that says e. We have the O that says a, o, u. We have the U that says u, and we have the Y that says its consonant sound first, which is y, and then it says its other sounds, e, I. And so those represent all of the vowel sounds that we have in the English language. Now we don't make the students memorize phonemes, because we don't need them to memorize like all of the phonemes exactly. What we want them to do is we want them to visually connect the grapheme that we're teaching them with the phonemes, okay? So here we have a, e, I, o, u, u, and it makes its consonant sound first, y, and then it says e, I, okay? And those are our 6 vowels. Now we also have some of our consonants that produce multiple sounds. I have those here for us, and these are here in my grapheme cards. So the first one here is g, j, g, j. What I want to do is I want to have the students mark above the g, j. They're going to mark a 2 above the g, j, okay? Now the students will have a page in their spelling book where they will write all of the letters, all the graphemes, just like this. These are the single letter graphemes. There is one mistake that I've made here. Did any of you catch it? You pause the video if you need. Try to find the mistake that I made. Okay, I hope that you found it. If you didn't, no problem. But one thing we always want to remember is Q always needs a U. U is not a vowel here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that U right here. Oops, sorry. The board is falling apart. Q always needs a U. U is not a vowel here. So I'm adding that U to that Q. These are all of our single letter graphemes. And so the first one that makes multiple sounds is G, J, and I'm putting a 2 up there to represent more than one sound. Then I have s, z, s, z. Ku, k, ku, k. K, s, k, s. Ks, s, ks, z, ks, z. Ks, z. And we're back at g, j. Okay, very good. Now, one thing I want to point out the difference between is these three. I'll take the S, the C, and the X. And we want to make sure that when we're teaching the students these three graphemes, we're very cautious because especially this one here. This is k, s, and this is ks, z. Now the first sound that the X makes is ks, and it's one of the only graphemes that makes more than one sound as it's producing the sound, which is k and s together. Ks. Okay, so, and then this one actually makes those two sounds. K, s. So if I make that too quickly, ks, then it's going to sound like ks. So I want to be very careful with these two. When I'm saying this one and I'm having the students repeat it, I'm having them make sure to differentiate between k, s. And then with this, we're saying it all together. Ks, z, ks, z. Very good. So these are the sounds that make, these are the graphemes that make more than one sound in our single letter grapheme. So what we're doing right now is an introduction. We do have multi-letter graphemes, and those multi-letter graphemes may produce some vowel sounds and may produce some consonant sounds. And so we want to remember that when we're teaching the students about vowels and consonants, they need to know that there is a difference between what we normally think of as a vowel, because most people teach that a vowel is a letter, and that's not really true. A vowel is a sound. It is an open sound, and a consonant is a restricted sound, okay? Finally, we have one letter here in our single letter graphemes that is both a consonant and a vowel. We've already reviewed that even in our program, but I want to make sure that you know when we're going to mark this with the students, we're going to have them go ahead and circle it, and that is our Y, because our Y makes a consonant sound, y, and then it makes vowel sounds, e, I. And so these are our single letter graphemes. These are the differences between our consonants and our vowels, and I hope that this lesson has been helpful for you.